the college basketball experience national championship preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, brought to you by Shady Rays. Go to shadyrays.com. Use the promo code SGPN for 50% off 2+ pairs of polarized glasses. We're also brought to you by the Golf Gambling Podcast Callaway Driver Giveaway. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/driver to enter today before the big drawing on April 8th. We're also brought to you by Baseball Money is Fake. Yes, our fantasy baseball podcast. Join Blake and Ryan 3 times a week and get all the player breakdowns and statistical data you'll ever need to dominate. So go subscribe over there. And remember, as always, to let it ride.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience national championship preview episode. Down to the final game. I'm holding back tears. If you're wondering just who the hell you're listening to, well, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist pussy. And I'm after you, buddy. You're going to pay for it. Good night.
Down to one game. Shout out to the chat. No, David's in there. He's a UConn fan. He's excited. Good for him. You know? Dave Marino. Brother of Dan Marino, Matthew Austin, Joe, Trevor, all these great fucking people. And I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin, host of the Ryan and Rush Show, host of the NFL Gambling Podcast. Give it up for Ryan McIntyre. What's up, man?
Man, a little sad. Last game, Championship Monday, but here we are. We got UConn and San Diego State. Let's go.
Oh man, I mean, who would have thought this back on November 5th or whatever fucking day it was that we were doing our last preview? LSU won, and somehow the Civil War's about to jump off. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh, okay, I got you. I think actually, the Civil War's about to jump off. See, I've been off the internet, the interwebs today. Just signed on right now. And getting ready for tomorrow, and just what a game we got on our hands here. Kudos to you on the right side of UConn. And you were on San Diego State too, right?
Yeah, they didn't cover, but I got it live at half on the money line when I called into the show, so it made a little bit of a profit there for the Aztecs. Never a sweat, baby.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that game was unbelievable. That's like the best Final Four game I can probably remember. Well, no, since UConn, since UCLA Gonzaga. That's how good March Madness is. That's the best Final Four game in 2 years. And before that, I'm sure I could go and find another one.
Carolina last year was pretty damn good too.
That's true.
That was a game. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just completely talking out of my ass right now. Yeah, I mean, this game's awesome, though. I'm super excited to watch this game. I actually think, as far as national championships go, this is probably the most excited I've been since the UVA Texas Tech national championship. What'd you make of both the games? And what'd you make of this national championship we have upon us?
I love the matchup. I think it's going to be a hell of a game, and we'll get into how each team matches up with one another. I wasn't surprised at all with UConn. I thought that was a horrible matchup for Miami just because they had no answer for Sanogo and Clingan inside. You could just see their size and how it bothered Wong and Pack on. I saw how many layups
hit 2 threes in the first minute of the game, but also I took Miami. And I thought Miami was somehow finding ways to do this against, elite teams throughout the tournament. And I was looking like a fool because, and I know Miami fans were saying, well, they missed like 15 layups or 20 layups. No, those were difficult layups, man. Maybe they make a couple more. They would lose again if they played UConn right now. And they would probably lose by a substantial amount. There's a chance it could be by more.
Yeah, it's hard to make a layup over a 6'10" dude that blocks 2-3 shots a game, and then a 7'2" giant that comes in. So yeah, you're gonna miss some layups when they're altered, especially with how small Pack and Wong were. And that's why I thought Texas really missed a Sioux, because those shots weren't altered in the second half when they just kept driving it and getting to the free throw line. So I just felt like UConn continued the Texas game plan, but finished it off this time rather than collapsing like Texas did.
Well, but to be fair, though, I also think on the other side of things, Miami was playing very selfishly. Like against Texas, they were passing the ball a lot better. And that's one thing that goes so far as being unselfish, finding the open man. I can't tell you how many times I saw Wong or Nigel Pack or even Jordan Miller cutting to the basket, trying like 1-on-4, 1-on-3, 1-on-2, and it just wasn't working. Yes, Hurley is making Kobe eat dirty booty. We'll see though, because you know what they say. Actually, no. I mean, you're in the fucking championship game. I'll give him his respect. Because I was going to say, like, if you're not first, you're last. But it's not necessarily true.
I agreed with you in terms of Miami was a little out of character. I mean, I've criticized Miami's defense, and they haven't been a good defensive team. But offensively, they've been really good all year. And you never saw Larinaga jump his players like he did on Saturday night because they weren't sharing the ball. It was kind of, hey, I'm on the national stage, and we forgot how we got here, sharing the ball, making shots, and making the extra pass. They didn't do any of that last night.
Yeah, but I mean, credit to UConn. UConn, I thought, I mean, even to close out the half, getting the 3 the way they did, they kind of just stomped on them the entire game. And meanwhile, San Diego State did exactly kind of what I thought they would do. Now, they didn't cover, as I took San Diego State -1.5, but I thought they would be down, and I thought they would come back. So it kind of went exactly the way I planned there, just didn't cover with, I thought maybe I'd get a free throw or something. So, here we are. I mean, and shout out to FAU. If the players are listening to this, which I highly doubt because they try to get some people that know what the fuck they're talking. I'm joking. I know what I'm talking about, but sometimes but if they're listening, don't transfer. Just come back to FAU. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think you could do it again, man. I think that team was really good, but down the stretch, San Diego State offensive rebound every fucking possession. Great defense. I think only 11 points the final, I don't know, 10 minutes, whatever that stat was. So not surprised at all because that's the Aztecs game. And here we are. Here we are with a great national championship. Now, I made this case on the Final Four on the Final Four episode. I thought the one team that posed the biggest threat to UConn was San Diego State. If I was ranking them, I think I said I'd go, as far as UConn's opponents, San Diego State 1, Miami 2, FAU 3. Here we are. We're going to get what I think is the top matchup for everyone that's all over not NIL, but all over UConn. We're going to get what I think is the most appealing matchup, maybe of the whole fucking tournament. We'll see. But what did you think coming into the Final Four? Were you on the same page as me as like the one team that could really pose the biggest threat? No, I took Miami because, once again, I thought they would probably lose. I mean, I took them to beat Houston. Was shocked they beat Texas, so I said, hey, maybe this is a moment here. But I was more so trying to convince myself, I feel like, if I'm being honest. Whereas like San Diego State, I thought like the size fits as far as like a matchup that makes sense. That could be a really good game. What did you think would be the biggest test for anyone remaining in the Final Four for you?
Yeah, I think I did say it on the show, but definitely San Diego State, just because UConn, like when they get off the, like, in football, they say they get off the bus and and they pass the eye test. UConn is that team. They got the two bigs, they got size at the guard, size in the front court. But San Diego State they're not as big as UConn, but they have as much depth and they have multiple athletes to throw at UConn. So I think they're not going to be intimidated. They're grown men because of the the COVID year, and they got 22, 23, even 24-year-olds on this team, and they've been through wars, and they've won multiple games this NCAA tournament in different ways. So I'm anticipating a rock fight here tomorrow night.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I actually think San Diego State might be the more athletic team here.
I don't disagree on the perimeter.
Yeah. So this is going to be really fucking interesting to watch. All right, folks, before we get to talking about the ins and outs of the game, I want to tell you we're brought to you by Shady Rays. Kick off the new year with some gear that's built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered from the sun to the slopes with premium polarized shades, customizable snow goggles, and much, much more. Shady Rays is an independent sunglass company that offers a world-class product that's just as good as really any expensive pair you've ever worn. Durable frames and extremely clear optics for outdoor adventures. That's not all. Shady Rays offers the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Yes, every pair of sunglasses is backed by lost and broken replacements. Yeah, you lost one? Left it on the old flight. Not a problem. They got you. Oh, I was out camping and a bear came and attacked us. So we ran away and he destroyed my Shady Rays. Not a problem. Look, if you lose a pair, break a pair, even on day one, you could buy this pair, and on the way home, you're in the middle of an argument, with your son, and you throw this pair of glasses at him, and it breaks. You turn around, go back, pick up a new one. They told us they would send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after your purchase. With Shady Rays, you can look good and you can feel good. Look, to date, they have donated over 20 million meals to fight hunger with Feeding America. Shout out to that. And if you don't love them, exchange for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop with Shady Rays. Their team always has your back. And right now, exclusively to our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the new year. Go to shadyrays.com. Use the promo code SGPN for 50% off. 50% off 2 pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself, and look, the shades are rated 5 stars by over 200,000 people on the internet, on the interweb. So go check them out. And remember, as always, to tell them that you're from SGPN and let it ride. All right. Oh, Dave Marino says, I used to buy weed off a guy named Shady Ray. Up there. And you're in Fresno, can 100% buy that. I can 100% buy that. David, I know you were asking me some questions. Do we have those pinpointed, Noah? If so, I would like to. Yesterday okay, so David says, and you should be watching on YouTube, youtube.com/thecollegeexperience. Colby, I'd like to ask you 2 things. Yesterday on SGPN, all the talk was on SU's defense and their experience. Isn't Miami a better offensive team than FAU? I don't think so. I think they're similar, right? They're both in the top 20, I feel like, right?
Yeah, I think Miami have been playing better down the stretch, but FAU is a hard team to guard. They put points up on Memphis and Kansas State as well in the Elite 8.
Well, another thing is FAU, the way they pass the ball, they're the opposite of Miami to me. Like they're playing small ball, but god damn, they were beating San Diego State in for like 3/4 of that game in finding the open guy. And San Diego State's got, to me, great transition defense, great at the guarding the 3, but that's how crisp the ball movement was for FAU. David then says, second, UConn starts a senior, 2 juniors, and a lottery pick sophomore, and then there are 2 seniors off the bench. UConn, not a bunch of one and dones. True. But as your own coach said, Dan Hurley today, that San Diego State's like an NBA team. They're older than NBA teams. I mean, I think I went through the 10-man rotation, and I think it was 8 seniors or super seniors, multiple super seniors, and 2 juniors that also have 4 years experience because of the COVID eligibility.
Butler and Parrish, yep.
I mean, that's like basically 10 seniors. You have 10, you're going up against 10 seniors. Now, look, I'm not saying San Diego State's not going to be the type of team to just beat the hell out of UConn. San Diego State wins the way they do. They remind me, and I mentioned this on the show, they remind me of UVA in 2019. 2019, you can go back to the UVA should have lost to Auburn and Purdue probably. I mean, I don't want to say should have. They got it done, but damn, did they need some high drama, throughout that tournament to get to the championship, even the championship game, to get the game to overtime. They were about to lose to Texas Tech. They had to hit Jerome Hunter, had to hit like a crazy 3 out of bounds, if memory serves me correct, or Ty Jerome, whoever the fuck it was. So San Diego State reminds me of that because they just stick around. Like like the UVA game, I feel like multiple times we thought Auburn had them beat. Wasn't the case. They battled out. Texas Tech, I thought, had them beat. Wasn't the case. Even go back to the first round of that game, or of that season, Gardner Webb was up I think a decent amount at halftime on UVA. So it reminds me, if you look at San Diego State's story, they were down to Charleston in the second half by 6 or 7. The only game they had the flat-out lead was the Furman game. After that, Alabama was up 9 at like the 8-minute mark, I feel like. Right? Yep. Then you go Creighton. Creighton was up 7 in the second half. And then FAU was up 14. That was the biggest Final Four comeback in the history of the sport, I believe. So, I mean, just an unbelievable. That's what I'm comparing there, is that we're going to talk more on it in a second, but I want to tell you that we're brought to you by Sword Vitality. Yes, look, everyone wants to go to the big dance, but to go to the big dance, you're going to need to have, make sure the plumbing is correct, because part of going to the big dance is the reward afterwards, which is, perhaps, having an erection. Let's be honest. All right. Look, you don't go to the ball if Cinderella's not there, right? Come on. You know what I mean? 40% men are, did you know that 40% men are affected by impotence at the age of 40? And nearly 70% of men at the age of 70. That's probably why Larinaga lost. Look, stop buying highly suspect pills in gas stations, because, look, we've all had a few screwdrivers, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're buying some horny goat weed at a fucking Exxon. You know what I mean? And we've been there. You pop in that thing, it does absolutely nothing. And then you've had too many whiskeys, and next thing you know, you're watching, I don't know, Conan the Barbarian by yourself, and she's gone home. You know what I mean? Look, no more of that, right? Because look, if you manscape, you might as well go all the way, take care of the plumbing. Sword Vitality helps increase your blood flow in ways that help you thrive as a man. It's time to become a Sword Vitality man if you aren't experiencing erections in the morning. Because, I mean, come on, you wake up in the morning. That's part of the fun about a new day. All right. Talking about Sword Vitality should be as comfortable as anything else, too. All right. This is 2023. You should be able to go out with the guys, knock down a couple pitchers of beer while you're bowling some frames, and say, you know what, guys? I like, what have you been up to? I haven't seen you, Steve, in a minute. Well, I've been hiking. I've been watching football. You know what? I've been using this Sword Vitality stuff. Boom. It should be that comfortable, because, look, if they're going to hate you, come on. Just say, yeah, I like to have sex. Boom. Done. There's no answer to that. There's no answer to that. So, look, the 3 main benefits, though, are increasing blood flow in ways that help you thrive as a man in the bedroom. And also, Sword Vitality can increase your stamina just in general. You don't have to hide it. You can be proud of it. So, unsheath your sword. Visit swordvitality.com. Use the promo code SGPN for a nice discount at checkout. That's swordvitality.com. Promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by our driver giveaway. No. We're not giving you we're not sending you an Uber, giving you a driver. You know what I mean? They don't know what the fuck they're doing out on the roads. You know what I mean? So we're giving you a real Driver, like if you're out on the golf course sipping, margaritas and whacking the hell out of the ball. All right. This is brought to you by the Golf Gambling Podcast and their tailor-made driver contest. The contest is completely free to enter, and you have a chance to win, awesome tailor-made driver. I mean, shit, it's fucking better than Air Force One. You know what I mean? The drawing will take place Sunday, April 8th. So make sure you get in by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/driver. All right. This is not a Kennedy driver either. All right. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/driver. How we doing? Hope you like those ad reads. We're back on the college basketball experience, and here we are talking. I see the Frozen Four talk. Don't worry. Noah will have some short videos. Just subscribe yourself to youtube.com/the college experience. And Daquan, look, I'm going to have Noah do that. Look, I know you think I bullshit a lot, which, in humor I do, right? But I actually watch all of the basketball games and the football games. I can't bullshit you, man. If I'm talking Frozen Four, it's like with the college baseball experience, man. When I'm doing the college baseball experience, Noah's talking, I'm picking. I watch I actually watch more college baseball than I do, like way more college baseball than I do college hockey. So I have like a little bit of knowledge on college baseball, but Noah actually knows what the fuck he's talking about. He played college baseball. All right. When it comes to the Frozen Four, I just thought that was like a fucking order at Dairy Queen. You know what I mean? Like I had no idea. I can't talk intelligently, man. So
slap shot.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Noah's going to be able to do that. Noah's going to be able to do some short videos because I don't want to bullshit you. All right. That's the reality. The reality is, look, if I could sit there and say, the Golden Gophers front line is fucking great. No, I have no fucking idea what I'm talking about, man. So instead of doing that, I would rather have Noah do that. And maybe Noah has no idea what he's talking about. I haven't even double checked with him, but to me, he's interested with the Frozen Four. So I'm buying in. I'm buying into Noah. He could be selling me some shit though, but we'll find out. Here we are, buddy. The Natty is here. And the spread is 7.5. I did see some 8s out there this morning. Noah's flexing the Big Ten is the best hockey. I sure fucking hope so. You got all the weather.
You got the igloos up there, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Michigan. Yeah.
SEC fans are like, yeah, you're the best. We're the best league.
Baseball.
Like, no
Baseball.
Shit. It's like, come on. How about you play your season at a different time of year and maybe every other school will have a fucking chance? You know what I mean? Come on.
The Big Ten's got to win in something, man.
Yeah, there you go. They got that. Their chess teams are probably decent. But yeah. So anyway, look, that line jumping around 7.5 and 8 from what I can tell right now. And Noah's talking trash about the Big 12.
Yeah, sorry, we got the last two. We're still the defending champs for right now.
Oh.
So we took the year off. No three-peat.
Let's seriously talk about this game, though, because I find this matchup, I'll be honest, and look, I get the fact that, a lot of people come in and say, I hate UConn. I've been hating on UConn. I had UConn beating Iona. I had UConn beating St. Mary's. After that is where I faded UConn, and I've ate shit on that. Now, Arkansas, I thought would play better. They didn't. Shout out to UConn. Gonzaga, I took Gonzaga. I was a skeptic on my pick. But if I'm being honest with myself, if we're in the circle of trust, I was a skeptic when I picked it. I took Miami. I was a skeptic when I picked it between me and you. Like if I'm talking to myself here, which we all have that voice within yourself, right?
It's a hard play for Larinaga.
I believe San Diego State can win this game. Like and this is not me doing shtick. I believe this is a very good matchup. Now, should UConn be favored? 100%. But I believe San Diego State has it's just a good matchup for them. I believe that. I really believe they can cause havoc on their bigs. Now, I still expect UConn's bigs to be able to, they're going to win the stat sheet against San Diego State's bigs. Probably get some of them in foul trouble. But I think San Diego State has the depth. And what I do love is the guard play of San Diego State, especially on the defensive side of the ball. When I watch UConn play basketball, they're a very good team. They're very athletic, and they can run the floor really well. And they deserve to be where they are. I'm not going to bullshit you. But they make a lot of turnovers, and I frankly, I was surprised Larrañaga didn't press more, and especially when you're down double digits in the second half. I think there's an advantage there for San Diego State. I think there is a clear advantage on the defensive side of the ball that they can make their guard play really have to work. And really, we saw it when they played Alabama or Creighton. I felt like those teams were exhausted. Even when they had open looks, I felt like they were exhausted. They're like that. San Diego State's like that gnat that's in your face the entire fucking time. You know what I mean? And it's just bothering you. So I actually believe that the Aztecs have an advantage with guard play and the way that they defend. Now, obviously, UConn has the advantage with the bigs, but I think San Diego State has 4 guys that are capable of, A, fouling the shit out of them, but also I believe they're athletic enough to challenge their shots, right? I really believe that. Like, I believe that each shot, for the most part, not in a transition or something, but Sanogo in the post or something, I think it's gonna be a harder shot for him than he's had to do in quite a while. So I love the points in San Diego State here, and I've been watching some TV today. Everybody that I've seen pick this thing besides us at SGPN is all over UConn. I think it's a great matchup. And another thing is, you go back to the losses that UConn did lose. Some of those are weird. Like the St. John's one, I have no idea how to really assess that. Besides the fact that St. John's, like, Posh Alexander's a great defender. I mean, maybe I can buy a little bit into the defense of the guards, but I believe like Seton Hall, Marquette, they play similar. I don't want to say like they're perfect match, but I think that's how UConn lost, was essentially the defense on the guards. Am I crazy for that take, Mac?
No. I think this is going to be a game, and you mentioned it with UConn's guards. I thought Miami's pressure at times bothered them in the second half. San Diego State in the past, I think they showed it a couple times against Alabama. Maybe they've been saving it for a game like this where they'll go a little 2-2-1, just to, not so much to turn you over, but more of a press to contain you and then drop back and match up out of that. So maybe instead of you make UConn use 8-9 seconds of the shot clock just to get it over the 10-second, and the next thing you know, they're calling their offense at 16, 17 seconds and then trying to get in their offense to shrink the game and muck it up. I think San Diego State pulls out all the stops, mucks this thing up. And you mentioned it, the 4 front court guys for the Aztecs, they got 20,000 between those 4 guys. They're going to get their money's worth as well. They're not going to be intimidated of Sanogo and Clingan. We already mentioned the experience with these guys. And outside of Jackson for UConn on the perimeter, I think the Aztecs are just as athletic on the perimeter. So I think this is a good matchup for San Diego State.
I think it's a great matchup for them. I think if you're an Aztec fan, you would have struggled more with Miami than UConn. As far as the style of play that they play. Let's be honest, Florida Atlantic was up that whole game. I think that style of play gives, they lost to Nevada with Steve Alford earlier this year. That style of play, I think, gives San Diego State the biggest fits, right? And I saw Trevor talking about this. Trevor, we love you here, man. But, how many times can you say that was luck? I would argue that San Diego State is just as deep as UConn, by the way. But,
I agree.
How many I actually think San Diego State should have won by 10 yesterday. When you're getting that many offensive rebounds, How many offensive rebounds was that? It was like 58% of the possessions in the second half were multiple possessions for San Diego State. They just couldn't score. So they had to sweat that thing out. when you add like in any basketball game, I feel like with college hoops, if you get that many offensive rebounds, in a stretch of a second half, normally that team never loses. And San Diego State didn't lose, but damn, they made it close. So
and for everybody that's saying that they're going to be outmatched athletically, Alabama is just as or probably more athletic than UConn.
Definitely more athletic
and
than
San
UConn.
Diego State was not intimidated at all in that matchup and went toe for toe and honestly just outmanned them. That's how they just beat the shit out of them physically.
Dude, if anyone thinks that UConn's more athletic than Alabama, you're crazy.
Oh,
You're
I know. I mean,
crazy.
Brandon Miller, we joke about wrong place, wrong time, but that guy's a physical freak. I mean, 6'9", be able to handle the ball, shoot the ball the way he can. I know he had a terrible tournament, but
now,
I mean, he still is a freak.
Now, to David's credit, they are more experienced, at least
than Alabama, yeah.
Yeah, they're more experienced than Alabama, so they have that going in their favor. Look, I think UConn should be favored, but I think the whole world is underestimating it's just like the 2019 Virginia team. It's like sometimes it's not a sexy brand of basketball to your Joe Schmoes out there that think college hoops should just be a fucking track meet back and forth. It's like, but they're successful at what they do, and what they do is they bring you in the muck. And I think that's going to happen in this game. Now, UConn could still win this game, and I could be wrong. I do not think it's going to be a blowout. I would be shocked, actually, if this one was like a 20-point game, because I just think San Diego State matches up perfectly with them. Miami did not match up perfectly with them, in my opinion. Gonzaga did not match up well with UConn. Arkansas, I actually thought, and they did blow out Arkansas. I thought if there was one, but Arkansas is super inexperienced. That team is super inexperienced. San Diego State is the epitome of experience. Everyone's like 25 years old on that fucking team. So I'm all over the Aztecs, man. I'm taking it on the money line too. I'm taking it on the money line.
So you know what's crazy is they actually did give away the look-ahead lines, like hypothetical national championships, and it was UConn -4.5 on Friday. Yeah. So I don't know how we're given 3 points of value just from what we saw. I mean, UConn played well against Miami, but San Diego State, I mean, they found another way to win. I think it's an overreaction with the number here. I'm on San Diego State with the points, obviously, and I'm on the under because I think this is going to be that typical national championship. The game that kind of comes to mind is remember Duke and Butler in 2010 when everybody said Duke's going to roll Butler, but who's Butler to be here? And then Duke had just beat West Virginia in the Final Four by like 15-20. And everybody's like, Duke's just going to roll with Coach K. And everybody remembers how that ended. It was back and forth. Gordon Hayward almost makes a half-court shot. I'm with you. I think this number should be around 5.5.
Am I crazy for thinking that Florida Atlantic's got better guards than UConn?
No, they just don't have the big names. I mean, Davis and Martin, those guys went toe to toe with the best guys from Tennessee, Memphis, and Kansas State, and outplayed all of them.
Yeah. See. I mean, I think Hawkins is actually. I think San Diego State's advantage is their guards. Now you could build me a case of UConn just beating them up with their bigs, even though I would push back on you. I could see that more. I think Hawkins is going to struggle this game. I think Hawkins will, or at least I don't want to say he's going to be shitty, but I'm saying he's a great player, but I think he's going to have to earn every bucket. And I don't think he's had to earn every bucket in quite a while. So I think he's going to have to earn every bucket in this game. So I expect him to have his worst shooting percentage in a little bit, at least.
And another thing, I would say San Diego State is as close to a Big East team in terms of their style of play, rough, physical. And that's when UConn struggled. When teams, like you said, Seton Hall got physical with them, Providence, Marquette obviously beat them twice. So I'm going to give out San Diego State on the money line at first half. That's at +195. Definitely take the points there. They're 4-point dogs, and then under 61 in the first half as well. And then if San Diego State is up like 6-7 points, just like that, you could go and swing and grab UConn on the money line at half. Sure.
Because a San Diego State drought will be happening.
Yep.
In this game. Here's what I think is going to happen. I actually think UConn will probably be winning at halftime. Right? I think UConn will probably be up 7-8 points. but I think San Diego State does this. It's like, I'm telling you, they really fucking remind me of UVA. Because that's what they do. No teams can shoot at the level they shoot at prior to playing San Diego State. And San Diego State will make plays down the stretch to keep them in this game. And I don't worry about if Laday's in foul trouble. Next man up. They got 10 guys. They got 10 guys that I think can do it. So, yeah, I think the advantage for San Diego State's the guards. And I see Brick Patino talking about it in the chat. I actually like San Diego State's guards against UConn's. I think that's their advantage. Now, I think the big question is can they limit and challenge the bigs of UConn, which, that's a question everyone's been asking, I guess, all year, and especially in this tournament. But I actually think San Diego State's guard play can actually, I would imagine full court press, some traps, some stuff like that really makes UConn work. I think UConn's a bit reckless with the basketball, so I think San Diego State can certainly take advantage of that. I think Noah is on the Aztecs as well. That's crazy that we have everyone. No one in like when I turn on the TV, no one's
corporate world.
Everyone hates. Everyone hates on San Diego State there, but here at SGPN, I feel like everyone's on San Diego State. Daquan says Colby hates on Newton. Yeah, that's all good fun though. That's all. If I met that guy, I'd buy him a beer. All right. But yeah, I mean, I love this matchup for San Diego State. Like, I think San Diego State plays a style of ball that caters to this game. Like, caters to the strengths of UConn and the weaknesses of, like, UConn. What's their biggest weakness? They turn over the ball. Well, who's the best defense? Who's the best defense they faced? It's going to be San Diego State. So, cannot wait for this matchup. What are you doing total-wise on 132.5?
Under. I think that this is going to be the game. San Diego State shot the ball really well the other night, actually, and that's how they got back in the game. I think this is the Alabama game all over again. And remember, this was just 10 days ago. Everybody called us fucking idiots for taking San Diego State against Alabama. They're like, oh, they can't slow them down. They can't score enough. Well, they mucked that game up and won at 71-64. I definitely like the under because I think they got to muck this game up even more than they did the Alabama game. Yeah.
And I see Christopher McGuire in the chat saying they're going to be forced to double the bigs. I don't think they will. Dutcher doesn't really believe in that. Dutcher's going to go man up. And if they get beat, they get beat. But I believe Dutcher's you hardly ever saw him in any games this year that I can recall, that where they were just doubling somebody. They believe in, and same with they switch, or, they are, to me, I would say, like, the most athletic defensive team I have seen in this tournament, as far as like the way that they will fight through screens, or just in general, they're super fucking organized. I feel like on the defensive side of the ball, you can tell they practice. What is it, like, what they say, 90 minutes practice or some shit? They're focusing on defense. You can tell when you watch them, and that's not last game. That's any of the games. I feel like.
They didn't double Kalkbrenner. And that's as good a big man as he's not Sanogo, but I mean, skill wise he is.
They're not going to double. Dutcher doesn't believe that. He recruits players to come to San Diego State to play defense. The only situation I would say I don't think they would double unless they're like getting absolutely destroyed, but I don't think they will get just like,
no,
I'd really be surprised if they double. So
they're going to trust their ball pressure just like everybody else does against Purdue to make those passes longer and muck up the game.
UConn,
they're going man for man. They're not intimidated of UConn.
Honestly, like the one weakness I saw, or with FAU, with San Diego State, especially like I said, for about 30 minutes of that game, 30 minutes of game time, the way that FAU was spreading the ball around, I thought they were beating San Diego State strictly on that. The ball was getting ahead. The ball movement was fucking incredible. So if you're Danny Hurley, I think if UConn can get that ball moving, swinging around, that's your advantage. But I'd still be shocked if they doubled any of the bigs. I can't wait to watch this game. We're all on San Diego State. So me, you, Noah, Kramer, Green, but everyone else, the whole world is on. You saw the money. Look at the money.
We're making up the 13%. SCPN's at 13%. So, yeah, we're getting in the foxhole on this one. What's your final score prediction?
I got 66-64. San Diego State wins. And I think Tuesday, they're announcing the Pac-12.
They should come to Big 12, man. Come to a real league.
Hey, if I'm your Mark, I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone. Yeah.
The football's bright there, too. I'm going to go UConn wins it 66-63. I think they come back and they win a late one. I think they get the benefit of the whistle down the stretch. But I got San Diego State leading this game for a majority. They just run out of gas. But I expect a hell of a ball game, and I'm on the unders.
Oh, man, it's going to be a fucking game, man. And look, in case you missed it, we were doing a fucking 8-hour broadcast, I feel like. Noah loaded us up. Let's show that Lamont Butler, which, by the way, I was not shocked at all. I knew he was going to hit the game winner. When he had the ball, I was like, this is who they want. To me, if it was Bradley, I was like, FAU is going to win. Noah, can we load up this clip?
15. 14.
They're going to John L. Davis. They're the team's best player. Nice little move. Up, blocked.
All right.
Here we go. They got 8 seconds.
7.
Oh my God, they're gonna win the game.
Butler.
That's not who you want to shoot this.
2 seconds. He's got to put it up. And he wins it with the jumper. A San Diego State miracle.
Oh, he's going for the win. Oh my God. Let's go! Oh my God!
This is madness!
Holy shit! Woo. That is
the best part right here.
Sport's amazing.
But we didn't get the blue bloods in. This is a horrible Final Four.
Oh, Decker yelling right into Sister Jean's face.
Oh my God!
Decker,
That's the best part.
shout out to Justin Decker, who we know through stand-up over the years. He's a San Diego State alum. And wow, I mean, just what an ending for him. Yeah, I mean, I think they got a decent shot, man. I think it's completely I think they're on the wrong. I really think this is a good matchup for them. I know that I've been hating on UConn the past 4 games. Some of that was me just fading Dan Hurley and doing shtick. I'm being honest. I really believe San Diego State matches up well with them. Now, UConn still might win, but I think this is a good matchup, and I think it's going to be a great championship game. What else should we talk about?
Man, we're at the end, unfortunately. Transfer portal. Lampkin's going to be a Buffalo.
Dude, they're bringing in on threes, number 1 recruit in the nation.
Yep.
Lampkin, I heard Graham Ike, the Wyoming transfer, is rumored to be a Buff in the next 24 hours or so. And they got KJ Simpson, Tristan Da Silva coming back. Whew. Dion, what are you doing? What are you coaching the basketball program too? What the fuck's happening? We coming. I mean, what else we have? I saw Jameer Nelson Jr. landed at TCU. I thought that was a good get considering that they're losing Mike Miles.
Yeah. He was good a couple years ago on the national stage when they got to the tournament. The portal is gonna go out of control here after Monday
Hunter
night.
Dickinson.
Hunter Dickinson. I mean, what the hell? Yeah,
dude. I mean, he's got to be going to Carolina or Duke, right?
What about Kansas?
Yeah,
I thought about that. I was like, he's
like
you're
at Michigan. You've won championship. This is like the McCullough move.
I know.
I mean, at least Texas Tech had never won a championship, but damn it, you were in the championship game. Right? Like
twice.
Michigan has been in the championship game very recently.
Twice in the last 10 years. Yeah.
What?
No, this is madness. I don't get these guys. Like, what else does Hunter Dickinson want?
I'm confused. I mean, unless it's just a fat paycheck. But I would think Michigan would be able to pay.
Michigan's got money too, though.
Yeah. I'm dumbfounded by that one. You know, wait, there was a couple other transfer portal guys that I was like, whoa. Oh, Tremont Mark. What?
From Houston, yeah, I know.
What? Why?
Sometimes the grass is not always greener on the other side.
Look
but
at
hey,
Caleb Mills. He transferred. AAC Player of the Year transfers to Florida State. No one's ever heard from him again. He's in the Witness Protection Program.
And then they went to the Final Four.
Absolutely insane. Michigan doesn't have big NIL money, but don't they have the
what the hell are they doing there?
I find that like they better start getting so yeah. I mean, it's Michigan. Their enrollment is some of the biggest in all of America, I feel like.
Tell Jalen Rose to pay up and Chris Webber stop calling timeouts and pay up.
Yeah, I mean, it's Caleb Love. Brick Patino says, can Huggy Bear get Caleb Love? I'm hearing Caleb Love to Missouri talk.
I could see Caleb Love to St. John's or something.
Oh, yeah. Posh Alexander's in the portal. I think he'd be a great get. I don't know why Patino. I thought Patino would bring back him because I thought if there was one guy that kind of played Patino ball, I understand he got Soriano back. But Posh Alexander's a fucking dog on the defensive side of the ball. Ace Baldwin in the portal. I mean, we're going to have you covered all offseason, folks. So make sure you
Ace will probably go to Penn State, don't you think?
I wouldn't. I would get paid. Go get paid.
Yeah.
Penn State, it's highly unlikely in his final year you're going to make the NCAA tournament. You might as well just go get paid.
He should go play for Hugs. He's a perfect Hugs guard.
Dude, my first thought when I saw him hit the portal, I was like, Big 12 is going to get him.
Yeah.
I thought Houston. Yeah. One of the first thoughts I thought was Kelvin Sampson at Houston. I was like, I could totally see Ace Baldwin playing for Kelvin Sampson. But in general, yeah, I would expect him to get paid. You know,
so maybe Kentucky gets involved with him. I'm like, you know what? Hey, good for him. I mean, he goes from VCU all the way to Kentucky if that's where he goes. So,
do we still think Timmy's coming back too?
It sounds like he's leaving, but
why would you not come back for six figures? So maybe seven. You might even be able to get 7 figures out of that.
He's not playing in the league. Like he doesn't have those skill sets to play in this modern NBA. He should come back, get paid more, be a legend even more at Gonzaga. I'm with you.
Yeah. Look, the Jeff Ruland days are done. I'm sorry. Ace Baldwin at Georgetown, says Fallon Iverson. I could totally see that. I could totally see that. And I would be all on board, man. Drew Timmy to Dub V. I don't know what's going on in the chat. Folks, I want to thank you. And we're still going to do a reaction show. You'll have us do a reaction show, but, you know, and we're going to be rocking with you all off season, talking portal, coaching hires, conference races, conference realignment. But we want to thank you for rocking with us all year. Appreciate you. And yeah, we don't stop here. College football episodes are already out. I mean, we're deep into college football right now. So go check out the college baseball experience as well. So college football experience, college baseball experience. Go check out those episodes. And I think you'll dig all that stuff that we do there. I preview all 130. This year it's going to be 133 FBS college football teams starting early June. Also, if you're an FCS football fan, I also do the FCS. I cover the FCS once a week. So make sure you check out the college football experience and subscribe to this on youtube.com/the college experience, but also Spotify, iTunes, please, if you can. That's the real way to get us paid. Also, I mean, USFL, there we go, Alfred. I host the USFL gambling podcast and also the XFL gambling podcast. I've actually been on fucking fire in the XFL. I've had 5 straight weeks of 3-1 ATS. I can't go 4-0 for some reason, but God damn it, I'm 3-1 every week. So go check that out. And USFL gambling podcast. Thank you, Big Sam Raceway. We just did a season preview episode. Me and NC Nick have been USFL fans since the mid 80s. All right. So we got you covered. We did, 57 episodes last season. We got you covered. There's already an episode out. There'll be another episode out this week. Also, Moneyline Mac is the host of the Ryan and Rush show. You should check out that show. You should also check out the NFL gambling podcast, which he hosts. And he's going to be involved with the college experience more in the coming months. We will announce it when it's ready, but he will have another show involved with the college experience. So stick around for that. And yeah, appreciate you guys. Get the SGPN app in the App Store or Google Play Store. It's free to download. And subscribe. I'm sorry, to our Slack. I'm sorry, not our Slack. Our Discord. Yeah, Discord. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. We're in there talking all. Doesn't matter the sport, man. I'm serious. I mean, I say it sarcastically that we're probably covering the dog race in New Delhi, but we probably actually really are. Sometimes I go into the channels and I'm just perplexed on what people are saying we should bet on. Fucking ping pong matches and like fucking, I don't know, China or some shit. I don't know, but there's some crazy stuff in there, but we have it all organized for you. So you can kind of it's like going through a supermarket of gambling, I would say. But it's also not just like gambling. Some of it is just fun. They have like a food, they have a food fucking channel where they're just talking about what they like to cook. Here's the best way to cook this. I go deep in that. Every once in a while, I go pretty deep in that. I'm like, God damn, we have a lot of stuff. We're talking about movies. I don't know how these people have time. They're just in there, but come on, join the crew. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. All right. Well, until Monday night, I hope this game's fantastic. And look, I know David's a UConn fan. I know a lot of you guys are UConn fans. And look, may the best team win. All right. But go Aztecs. All right. This is the college basketball experience. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's looking and the whole world's looking with the gamblers. Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And you know what you're getting because the books we written with the gamblers. Everybody's trying to stop this team, but we keep on knocking them dead. They make opposing coaches